it's been really exciting. I've had a great time so far. Just coming into the office and seeing all these wonderful signed balls on the windowsill. I thought I'd come into Harvey Specter's office where he's got it all on in suits. It's brilliant. But the people have been the nicest thing that I've met so far. Everybody is so passionate about volleyball and it's a great community to have joined. So yeah, really enjoying it so far. I think it's about it being a team sport. I'm really passionate about the benefits that you get from playing a team sport. Being part of that community, having that social interaction, as well as the competitive edge, gives you those sort of life skills. I was a hockey player myself, not to any great standard, but hockey gave me so much in my life. I've got friends for life. I met my husband through hockey. I've just got this real affinity with what a team sport can give you. And volleyball is exactly the same, and I'm seeing that already in the community, that there is this real sense of being part of a family of volleyball. And I really like that. The other things that attracted me was around the fact that there's 3 sports involved. It's beach volleyball, indoor volleyball and sitting volleyball, and each one has a separate and slightly different opportunity to do something with that sport. So it's great that there's quite a lot to go at, and I really want to get my teeth into it and start to see a real difference in those sports. So before I started, I'd played it only socially. When I've been on holiday, played a bit of beach, or the hockey team we used to play volleyball as a sort of getting your hand in for hand-eye ball coordination, team sports, all that sort of stuff. I loved it. It was really good fun. It was one of those games that I always looked forward to when we were playing it. I wasn't particularly any good, but I'm reasonably tall, so I could certainly get stuck in and try and do some shots, but whether they would have been considered good enough for the standard, probably not. I don't think I'd even make it into the lowest level teams, but at least I was having a go. And I just think, we've played it in the last couple of years with my kids on holiday, and again, it's just good fun to sort of start playing a sport where you're playing a game where you're knocking a ball around and just having fun, and that's what it's all about. Not a lot about the community. I went out and about after I was offered the post and I've been to a few NVL matches to have a look at how the sport's played at the highest level, and it's great to see the real top class competitive sport being played like that, and again the community that's around that. So before coming here, I worked for the Sports Ground Safety Authority, who's an arm's length body from Department of Culture, Media and Sport. The organisation was set up to improve standards of safety across major sporting events, primarily football. It was set up after the Hillsborough disaster in 1989, and so for years we worked with football grounds, cricket grounds, rugby grounds, and we worked across the world to try and improve safety standards. So very different in one way, but very similar in another. So I think the things that were very similar was around building relationships with sports people, but working with clubs, working with other organisations to try and improve the customer experience of sport. In that role, it was all about going to a major event and helping with the operational side. But actually you got that opportunity to see some fantastic major sporting events taking place and to be able to contribute to the journey that they were on to improve. I got the chance to travel around to different parts of the world. I mean, it was amazing to go out to Brazil ahead of the World Cup and help them improve on their safety standards for running a World Cup. Was just something I'll never forget. So initially, my ambition is to get to know the sports a bit better, to get to know the people, get to know the community. I want to understand really what it is that makes these 3 sports, makes them tick, and how we can get them to improve. Are they, what's our contribution as a sports governing body? Are we a membership organisation? Are we leading the sport? Are we improving talent? Are we a sports participation, development opportunity? What are we? And I think we need to do some work around refocusing on that. And I'd be delighted to hear from anyone from the volleyball community who's got thoughts, ideas. I'm trying to get out and about as much as I can to meet people. So if you see me out there, please come and say hello, come and have a conversation with me. I really want to hear your views around the sport, and that'll help us to develop how we're going to improve the sport over the coming years. So right here, right now, what's my ambition? My ambition is for it to be the greatest sport there is, of course, but how we get to that point is, it might be a long, long way off, and initially I just need to talk to people to understand what they want from the sport. And I think we absolutely need to service the community of volleyball. The sport is run by a huge number of very dedicated volunteers, and personally I want to thank them for everything they do. We couldn't run this sport without the hard work that goes on from all these people who do this over and above their life, their jobs, are taking time away from their families to help volleyball happen, and it's just a huge thank you from me on that one. Thank you, as I just said, great message of thank you, but please come and talk to me. Let's try and understand how we can improve the sport together. There's lots going on. We've got fantastic opportunities coming up with the Commonwealth Games and beach volleyball being on the programme there. We need to really take that opportunity and grab it with both hands and make it show everybody across the world how brilliant our sport is. And so if anyone's got any great ideas, I'd like to talk to you about them. We'll certainly be working really hard to try and improve the opportunity that those Commonwealth Games give to the sport.